Hello. I don't really need a microphone, but I quite like having one. Wasn't the first two speakers absolutely fantastic? Say it a wee bit louder for me. Absolutely brilliant. Well, my job is to introduce our next speaker, but to be quite honest with you, probably needs no introduction. Michael's been with Clean Easy for 13 years, but I always have to ask him when he's speaking, how long is it now? I do remember when he started, there'd be this quiet, shy person standing behind Stuart Orr, which a lot of people know Stuart, still professes to be quite shy, but I think he hides it pretty well now. I'm getting the evil eye at the back here. I'm not going to really say much. Everybody knows the work that Michael does. He's been here for all that time. He's always on hand. If we need something, we get it. But we've got another wee claim to fame. He gets very shy about promoting his book. He's kindly donated one, but I think it's going on my account for my raffle. I said it's no, thank you. I'll keep it then. Nobody's getting it. So without any further ado, it's a terrible introduction. I'm not good at this part, but he's a great speaker. Michael Khatkar, Head of Network.
Good afternoon, everybody. How are you all okay? I have to say the first two speakers epitomise how brilliant this business is. That was outstanding what you two have both achieved in Clean Easy, but that is available to everybody. Fantastic presentations, and it's only going to go downhill now. But I can tell you that Stuart did mention that it's okay for the next destination to be Bognor Regis or Skegness. So if it is, then you're to blame. Ladies and gentlemen, on May the 11th, this business will be 90 years old. Now, I started in 1923, I believe. It feels like it's been that long. That's 90 years of profitable business. That is the grandest proposition you can imagine. For 90 years, we've had products that have sold. For 90 years, we have had payments made to people. For 90 years, we've supported people to grow in this business. For 90 years, this business has worked. And that's an incredible place to be. You know, we're still in the middle of an economic decline out there. The country is telling us that retail isn't happening, that most companies are going backwards, and yet our business still after 90 years has a grand proposition to give to you. It has done and it will do. And it's just in a brilliant place to be. You know, in all those years, we've had challenges. Of course we have. We've had challenges like many companies do. But look, we are still in a position where we are excited, energetic, and enthusiastic of what's going to happen next. And that's really what I want to try and address today. You know, where we've come from is important. And it's important to have that heritage because you're all part of that. You know, it's very important to have that heritage and that support that has always been there. That's very important. But there's nothing more important than where we are today and where we intend to go. Because all that matters, but not as much as where we are heading. Now, that's what I call our real grand proposition for the future. And that's what we want you all to be a part of. Well, you are if you're in the business, and if you're not, you need to be part of this. And you need to get on board with what we have to offer. So the Clean Easy business has had its ups and downs, but 90 years of profitable business has been there. And 90 years of something that's been sustained. So where we are today is that, as I said, we turn 90 on the 11th of May. I'm going to keep plugging that date. 11th May, we turn 90. So what are we going to do in the future? Well, it's quite simple. What if we come up with some plans that can just help you make more income than you're making today? That's it. That's our grand proposition. To try and help you as individuals, irrespective of how long you've been in this business, whatever level you've achieved before, to help you make more income, to put more money in your pocket, as Zig Ziglar says, and it's so obvious in your team building. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get everything that you want. And that's what we intend to do. Our grand proposition for Clean Easy, it revolves around three areas. areas, 3 fundamental basic areas. And if those areas can be improved, then our business will grow. But you know what? It's not the business growth that I'm bothered about. What I'm personally concerned about, and so is our organization, you know, the rest of the corporate stiffs, what we are really concerned about today, and you will hear about that time and time again, is to help you make more money as individuals. Doesn't matter whether you're 10% now, doesn't even matter if you're not on the volume profit scale. Whatever level you are at, this year, you will make more money. That's the end of it. That's what we're planning. So our grand proposition over 3 areas. 1 is to assist and encourage and help you make more as an individual. So the proposition for the distributor themselves. And remember, you are central to this business. It's your business. It's your organization. This is your company. You are central to it. If you weren't doing what you do today, we wouldn't have an organization. End of. We wouldn't. We'd be another casualty of today's economic decline. There's no reason we wouldn't be that. So you are the generator, the heartbeat of the business. So what you do is vital. You are the center of our organization. So if we make the proposition better for you, that's a starting point. And that means helping cut overheads, helping you make more money. Can't say much more about that, but that's where we're going in the next 4 weeks. Then the proposition to your prospects. What if we make it even better for new people? You know, when somebody starts, what we want them to do in this business is to make money quicker. Because the quicker somebody makes money, the more chance they're going to get the belief and they're going to stay in the business. Would you agree with that? You know, and that's where we want to go. So proposition for you and proposition for your prospect. Make it better and quicker for people to make money in this business, because that's why your prospects join. They don't join to go to Dubai or win cars, although those are very nice, but that's not why people join. There's very few people in the history of this business that have joined for any other reason than to make that extra income. That's why people join. So we have to help new people make more income quicker. And if they can do that, they get the belief in this business and they will keep in the business. They will stay and they will go and get what they want. Then the final proposition to your customers. What if we make it better for them? Now, what if we improve our products? What if we get them better products? If we can do those 3 areas, then the most important time in our Clean Easy history isn't the history, it's the next 10 years. And that's what we're looking at. Now, 10 years might seem a long time away. 10 years would seem a very long time away. For some, 10 days is a long time away. But 10 years will come and go very, very fast. Every single one of you in this room can remember where you were 10 years ago. And those 10 years will fly by. So if we can get that grand proposition exactly where we want to be, based on the heritage that we have, and the experience that we have, and the skills that we have, and the knowledge that we have, then where we're going to go from today onwards is an absolutely phenomenal place. And I'm not expecting you to wait for years of this to come into place. I'm talking in the next 4 weeks. We have our 90th birthday anniversary showcase, or whatever we call it nowadays, on the 11th of May at the ICC in Birmingham. Now, maybe all of you can't make it. If you can make it, you need to be there, because it's vital to help build your future. Do you know, I would say that there hasn't been a year or a moment in this business in the 13 years that I've been in that I haven't been excited or enthusiastic about it. And the reason is because it's a business that helps people. You know, our business revolves around people. All you do is help people. And if you think of it in that way, then you have a most valuable tool at your hands. You know, it's a very valuable proposition that you have, that you can help people. You know how many thousands of people people, these leaders that are sat at the back have helped in this organization? How many thousands of people have been helped to get from where they are to where they want to be? How many thousands of people may have not had the opportunity or the lifestyle if it hadn't been people for this room today? And that's thousands and thousands across the country. So that is an amazing proposition that you have at your fingertips. It's an amazing place to be, that we can do this with people in our business. Think of it in that way. It's not necessarily about the products or the compensation plan. It's about the people, and it always has been. Now, I never expected to be in this business as long as I have, and I often check. No, really, I really mean it. That's not just recently. Careful what you say. It's not just recently. I mean, right from. Oh, you like that, don't you? But I was going to be in this business for 6 months. That was the idea when I first started. 6 months, because I was just, as you know, you've heard the story many times. I'd been studying psychology, and I was going into criminal psychology, which did come in handy in later years, particularly at head office. But nevertheless, that's what I was in for 6 months. Just to see what this is about, because when I went to the interview, they were very enthusiastic about it, and I loved that. I loved the fact that they were so proud of the business, and these were the corporate stiffs. So this wasn't even the network. Then I met the network. Well, now that's where the magic happens. The magic doesn't happen at head office. That's just shenanigans. Out here is where the magic happens, because it's here you influence and you help and you encourage and you mentor people. And that's an amazing thing. So when I met the network, which was just in this very same week that I started at a conference, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I'd never seen such optimism, enthusiasm, such energy. I'd never seen such anticipation and ambition. I had never seen it through my entire corporate career. In fact, I've never seen it in any corporate organization. And I probably count ours into that as well, because we're part of that rat race. Out here, there is a compulsion to help people, and that is something you don't get in the real world. Many of you've got jobs now, normal everyday jobs like the real world out there, the real world, the corporate world, and this kind of environment does not exist out there where people are willing to encourage you and help you. You've seen two brilliant speakers today that epitomize Clean Easy, but one thing they didn't point out was that they are willing to help people that have got nothing to do with them. If you ask either of them for advice today and you've got nothing to do with their business, they will willingly give you that advice. They both shared their training here today that could help you get anywhere you want to in this business. And yet, very few of you are key to their own individual businesses. They don't have a vested interest in most of the people in this room, and yet they have given you that training, which, in my humble opinion, that training alone that you saw there could help build your business, change your lifestyle, give you the rewards that you want. Just in those two presentations. Now, in the corporate world, people don't help you like that. People don't help you unless they have a vested interest. If they have a vested interest, they'll bend over backwards because it will affect them. If it doesn't affect them, they don't give bugger all. You know they don't. You're from the corporate world yourselves. You know what it's like. It's not like our industry where people encourage you, mentor you, coach you, and help you, even the ones that have no vested interest in your own income. And that's what you get at these trainings. So when I met the network after being a week in the business, I didn't get it. There were people wearing badges upside down. I've never got that. I made the mistake of saying to somebody, wow, your badge is upside down. I'll never forget the lecture I got as to why it was upside down. I could have joined right there and then had I not signed a binding contract a week earlier. So the network is what generates this business. Think way above catalogs, think way above anything. Think about people. That's what you're doing. All you are doing is encouraging and helping people earn an extra income. And that is an amazing place to be. So I only intended to be around 6 months. Somehow I've managed to drag myself for 13 years and still here. But there's still tomorrow. But nevertheless, you ask 1 million people out there, I always use this analogy, ask 1 million people if they want an extra income. 1 million of them will say yes. Doesn't matter what they're earning today. Everybody wants an extra income. Never ever prejudge. You've learnt this in the network. Never prejudge anybody. 1 million people want an extra income. Then you ask them how you're going to get that extra income. And almost all of them, unless they're in this business or this kind of industry, will not have a clue how to have or get an extra income. Because in the corporate world, you can't just work a little bit harder and get a little bit more. No, you work a little harder, they'll make you work harder. And you don't get a little bit more because that's what happens in the corporate world. You're always working for someone. Someone will be always gaining from what you do. You are building somebody else's goals. Here, you build your own. In our industry, it is all about what you can achieve by helping others. So in this industry, you help people, you encourage people, and you mentor people. It doesn't happen in the real world out there. So the business has been absolutely dynamic. I mean, every year, I was just trying to say before I lost my thread there, I was trying to say that for 13 years, there's never been a year when I haven't been enthusiastic about business because it's about people. Every single year, it's helped people and encouraged people and worked for people. But this year, some of the things that we have in place now, and I know you've probably heard me say this 1,000 times, but I promise you 1,000 times it's been true at the moment that I've said it, that I am excited about the future. And there is great ambition and dynamism about to happen. There is things happening that are going to help you. But don't forget the grand proposition that I put to you. It's fundamental basic things. You know, the distributor, the customer, the prospect. Those are the three things that make this business work. If those three areas can be better than they are today, and don't get me wrong, they're great today. You've seen great success stories, and there's plenty of them in this room and within the organization. But if you can hit those three areas, then you're going to have a business that's probably going to do better than the 90 years in the next 10 years. And that's what we intend to do. The next 10 years are going to be very, very exciting. Now, it's taken some change. You know, change happens a lot, and you have to embrace that change. That's what we've had to do. We've had to embrace the change, and we continue to embrace it. So for you, as far as you're concerned, to get the most from that proposition that's coming your way, and remember, you already have a grand proposition, but to make that even better, what you have to do is embrace that change. But I'm not talking about change that's about to happen or change in how you work. I'm talking about that mental attitude change. That's what you need to change. You have to be able to, you know, live that dream that you want to have long before you get there. You have to have that mental attitude shift, that paradigm shift, as many people call it. You have to be able to do that. Now, if you can do that, if you can have that mental change and have the belief that you are capable of achieving what you want with this business, belief in the business itself and in you, then you're going to make it. You are going to make it. Belief and change. What you've seen today is two stories of great belief and change. Both of them were embroiled in change and belief, and they were able to do that, and they're great leaders in this business. But you know what? Any one of you can achieve what they have achieved. And you know, I haven't even mentioned the destinations and the rewards and everything, because those just fall into place along the way as you're going for these great achievements that you personally want to make. But believe that you can do it. Do have that belief, because you can. You know, in this business, remember, you're encouraging people. And the more people you encourage, the better you get. I remember years ago, one of our leaders said that network marketing was nothing more than the ability to communicate and relate to people. Now, if that's what it is, and think about it, what Alison has done and what Stuart and Robin have done, and Alice and Paula might add, you know, what they have done is in their ability to have that communication and that relationship, not just with prospects and team members, but with customers as well. If you can improve that, then I can promise you that we're in for a hell of a time the next few years. We really are. And we've had a great time in this business. It's taken a lot of change and it's taken a lot of personal belief, but I can honestly tell you from that first moment when I joined this business, and it wasn't from the head office point of view, it was from the network point of view. On the 7th of January 2000, when I met the first people in the network, the first ever people, that's when my personal shift and change happened. You know, I believe from that day onwards that any business that can help people do what they were doing was a business to be worth being part of. And I'd never known anything like it. I'd never known a business that would encourage and motivate and inspire people that didn't even have a vested interest in. Then that was a magical place to be. The magic is where this happens, you know, way above catalogs, way above our products. It is honestly all about people. And, you know, the great thing about it is after 90 years, and I keep banging on about the 90 years, but it's quite a historic place to be. After 90 years, to be anticipating the best 10 years you've ever had is a great, great place to be. And that's not down to us. That's down to what the network do. It's down to the leaders in the network. It's down to you as individuals. It's what you do in this business that brings the magic. So my only advice to you is, and you know, I'm not a networker, the advice you've had from the two speakers is awesome. My personal advice to you is, you know, just regard this more than ever as a business, a powerful opportunity and proposition that you can make to people. Remember, 1 million people wouldn't know how to make an extra income until they're in a business like this. Your proposition is to speak to as many people as you can and help those people. And the more people you help and encourage in this opportunity, the greater your business will grow. And all that remains, we said, is to thank each and every one of you for what you do. We wouldn't have a business if it wasn't for you. We wouldn't have anything in this business. It's always, always been about our people. So thank you for what you do. Carry on doing it, and let's look forward to the most amazing 10 years we have ever had. Thank you for listening. Thank you.